So his example was he had a table and he wanted to put like a glass pane in it, which is a pretty common thing. Windows objects where you have like a piece taken out are pretty common, I would say. So for the table, I kind of just roughly drew the top and an ellipse. But I wanted to show you guys this. So what I would have to do in order to subtract out this piece is, this is currently the material. So on this face, what I've done is I've drawn this ellipse, which then I would extrude and subtract.
Did you make a radius or a diameter?
So I've now subtracted that thing, right? The problem is that when you get rid of it, as you guys already know, it's going to consume the profile. It's going to take that ellipse that I made, and when I subtract it, it's going to be like, look, there's no more profile, so I cannot extrude this thing again. I have to redraw it, except that it's the same exact shape and size as the thing I just got rid of. Okay? So there's a setting. It's DEL, and it'll kind of auto-complete. DEL-OBJ. So delete object. DEL-OBJ. And the default for that guy is 3. Okay? So when you do this, at 3, it's going to consume that profile. But if you do DEL-OBJ and you set the value to 0, it's going to leave that profile. So watch how this goes. So I already did get rid of that guy. But as you can see, because I've turned my DEL-OBJ to 0, it now left me the original profile of the object, which then I can just extrude
To the thickness of the table.
to the thickness of the table, and I have now filled that with a separate piece. And from there, it's, you know, pretty straightforward. I'm just going to go materials, and I'm going to make one. This is probably going to take longer than the whole thing itself. That guy, that guy. So let's say that I have a wood table. Yeah, this part seems to take the most time. What maple? What's wrong with maple? You don't like maple? So I'm going to make that maple.
Syrup.
Thanks. Not relevant at all. Great. And then I'm going to go to glazing, and let's say that I want this to be just clear. I'm going to put that guy in clear, and that's tough to see, as you can tell. But if I go to conceptual, you can see that it's a real piece, but in realistic it looks clear. So at that point I have 2 separate objects. There's other ways to do that. Some people really like this extract edges, which is a thing. You can actually go on there and you can use an existing edge. But that delete object is awesome for a lot of things. One, if you are doing something like this where you're reproducing the shape a second time. 2, if you have revolved something and then want to keep that profile so you can make another one, which is kind of common, like, oh man, I really like that glass, I wanted to make one, crap, the profile's gone, right? So you have to explode it, copy it, and so the delete object value of 0 is pretty nice on that front. So the downside of it is you cannot do it afterward. Okay, so this is something that interested you. You should know that that's a value you need to set up before you do this whole process. Because if you draw it, then subtract it without changing the value, it's gone. And then you're going to be like, crap, I need that thing. So you have to undo, type delete object, value 0, and redo. So like I said, it's pretty useful. Kind of cool for like, people sometimes make sinks. Same deal. They'll like put a bowl in there as a sink bowl on the countertop, so it's kind of cool. But anyway, that's the deal.
What kind of syrup do you use?
I used an ellipse for that particular one.
No.